Okay, so last time I made a video, it was on a Monday. Today's Thursday night. So I'm already not doing great at the like once a week video thing. However, better late than never, right? So I'm doing better late than ever. So I'm making a video for this week and it's on Thursday instead of Monday. And that's just how it is. And I'm gonna try not to make it 30 minutes this time, especially because right now my husband is putting my 2-year-old, well, he'll be 2 on Saturday, putting him to bed. And so I have the time between when they just started the bath, like maybe like 5 or 10 minutes ago, and then however long between bath, daddy dry off time, because daddy dry off time happens whether I'm giving him a bath or whether my husband's giving him a bath. He still gets daddy dry off time. So I don't use hair dryers. That's a is it a white folks thing? I don't know. It's not a me thing, because if I use a hair dryer, then my hair gets absolutely like this, but like all of it is like that, and it just looks bad. So I'm gonna try not to fidget with my hair as much as I did in the last video, because that was pretty much all I did in the last video, was fidget with my hair while talking about my names. But I figured in order to keep myself from fidgeting, I was gonna work on my embroidery. So right now I'm working on this embroidery because, well, in case you couldn't hear what I just said because I was covering my mouth and mumbling, right now I'm working on this embroidery, which is a book with a bunch of flowers coming out of it, and it's pretty much all satin stitch so far, which I thought was gonna look terrible, but actually is kind of working. It's just taking fucking forever. Oh, that's the other thing, is I've decided that I'm gonna swear, and that's just who I am, and I kind of don't care if my students see this, because honestly, well, we'll get to that later. Anyways, in the meantime, this is my second episode of my vlog. I'm gonna work on my embroidery instead of fucking with my hair. So I'm going to start by fixing, there's a knot in this thread, so I need to cut it above the knot and re-thread the needle. You might not be able to see some of what I'm doing, but I don't know. Do you want to be able to see it? If you want to be able to see it, comment and let me know. If not, I'm just going to keep on behaving as if I'm the only one that gives a crap. So, now I'm grabbing a needle out of I bought this at a Comic-Con somewhere. It used to have a zipper on it, but my dog ate it. My dog is a corgi, by the way. But my dog ate it, so I put some like Velcro on it instead. And actually, honestly, I kind of like it this way. Let's figure out a needle that will work for this. I definitely already had a needle on this project, but I don't know what I did with it. So the first one that I pulled out was way too dull. Had a big eye, but it was too dull. So I'm gonna go with this one, I think, which is a little bit sharper and still has a fairly big eye. I got this as part of a kit. So what should I be talking about anyways? I should be talking about, last time I talked about my names, which was kind of just to like get to know me. I need to make my first video, so I talk about whatever the hell. But this video, I wanted it to be a little bit more topical. I think basically right now what I'm thinking about is, so if you catch me looking down, it's because I've started sewing. But basically, oh shit. Yeah, the thread is so short now that it comes out on every stitch. it takes a minute to rethread it. But I think I'm just going to finish this off and then secure the thread end and then start a new piece of thread, because it doesn't really make sense to try to keep going with this one. So the state of the world right now sucks, and the state of education right now sucks, and the state of my bank account sucks, and this needle might not be the right needle. All of that sucks, and I just wanna rule it. No, just kidding. That's from Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, which I did introduce to some of my 7th graders last year. But the truth is, I really don't like how any of this is going, and I don't like how my situation is going. So the needle is kind of thick, and that's making it difficult to secure the ends. So I think I'm going to switch to a different one. But basically, I've been thinking a lot. Oh, shit. I'm never going to see that again. Damn it. Okay, hold on. So, let's try this one. Want to be an artist. It's really, if I'm honest with myself, neighbors. Oh, wait. This is too short to even bother using for anything, so I'm not going to. Let's find... It is... Alright. Hopefully this is enough. I mean, there's 6 strands, but I got a decent amount of pages left. Okay, let's take it down to 2. So this is one thing that a friend of mine was like, you know, I always get those embroidery kits, but I always run out of thread. And I'm like, are you using all 6 strands at the same time? Because you shouldn't be. If you are buying an embroidery kit, make sure you read the directions thoroughly, because you are supposed to break it into a smaller amount of strands than what they give you. Usually the threads they give you are 6 strands, and then you should be breaking it down into 2 or 3. This one called for 2, so that's what I'm doing. I just gotta get this through the eye of the needle. And if I can't get it, then I'll use a needle threader. I hope you guys can hear me, because if you can't, this video is gonna be a waste of my time. I got one thread, but not the other one. Okay, I know I've been quiet for a second now, and that's not, you know, you shouldn't really do that on a podcast, but I mean, this isn't really a podcast. I guess I'm just thinking podcast because I want to make one, but this is a vlog. Oh, fuck me. Okay, fuck that. Alright. Where's the threader? You gotta be kidding me. There's no threader. Son of a bee. It's funny how we're like, I need to be quiet while I'm doing this. I can't talk and insert a thread through a needle with my fingers. Are you crazy? That would be too complicated. It will be easier to thread this needle if I am not speaking. Just kidding, because I just got it. Awesome. Here we go. So, and then I don't know, I hope you're not coming to me for embroidery tips, because like I really only do this as a hobby, but like, again, if you're somebody who's just like buying a kit and doing it for the first time, maybe I can let you know that like usually you don't completely double the thread, you just let a little of it hang over, so that way like you don't have to, so you can use more of the thread for the actual embroidery. And then I will usually tie a knot on the end, even though, I mean, I am gonna run it through the back also, but this will keep it from coming undone. And then my method for tying a knot is usually I just do like you would be doing for a, what do they call it, a French knot, and then just tie it as a knot on the string instead of keeping it on the thing. I really want to get into doing Black women's hair as embroidery, because I think those look awesome and I want to do that, and I think it looks cool. I want to experiment with all kinds of different stuff and maybe like adding beads and gold accents and all that kind of shit. But anyways, why am I even making this video in the first place? We're already at 12 minutes. So well, obviously, number one, because I want to keep making videos, because I want there to be content when people come looking for content, and I want to get into the habit of doing this and to get better at it over time, so that, you know what they say, the first step to getting good at something, sucking at something, is the first step to getting kind of good at something. That's what it is. Number two, I am practicing because I want to make a video. So I want to transition from being a public school teacher to being an artist. And being an artist in this day and age is hard. And I'm going to need patrons. And those patrons are going to want content. And I need to practice making the content, because before now, I've spent a lot of time dreaming the content, researching the content, thinking about the content, brainstorming the content, but not actually making it. Someone's barking. Yeah, my dog's barking inside, but she's inside, so. Somebody back. Alright, are they done? Sounds like they might be done now. My dog is still barking. But again, she's inside, so that doesn't matter. If she comes to the door, I'll let her out, but alright, so the point of the embroidery is to make me not be messing with my hair the whole time. So if you can see it, awesome. If you can't see it, I'm sorry, but I will show pictures of it on my Instagram later. I pulled the needle out of the thread again. So the idea is, over the next couple weeks to a month to maybe 2 months, I'm gonna try to revamp my social media presence. I used to have a burgeoning social media presence a couple years ago before I got pregnant. And then I got pregnant, and then I acted like a dumbass, which I'm gonna blame on hormones. And then I kind of tanked that social media presence, and then the 2024 elections happened, and I deleted my Twitter account, And so now I'm kind of starting over again, but I still have friends, and I am older and wiser, and my kid is going to be 2 this weekend, so happy birthday to Ben. But also, Ben is starting to get a little bit more independent, so I have a little bit more time to myself. And if I can get a Patreon up and going and make enough money to at least replace my current income, which is honestly not that great. I mean, it's okay, but I have a car payment that kind of just wrecks all of it, because they wouldn't finance me for a used car, they would only finance me for a new car. So my car payment is ridiculous $100, and I need to be able to at least cover that and my kids' daycare, or I won't have the time to make anything anyways. So, but there's so much stuff that I want to put out right now. I have some friends who are starting a new actual play channel that I really would like to be involved in. I want to start my own I want to start my own podcast with my friend Robin, who we have been friends since we were 15-year-olds in high school, and there's all kinds of stories which I'm sure you will hear on the podcast. I screwed something up. I hate when that happens. Alright, well, I'm just gonna have to like sew it into the back, or I could just clip it right now. That's what I'm gonna do. Here we go. It never happened. Alright, so, okay, so yeah. Robin and I are going to start a podcast. We were going to call it Purple Monkey Dishwasher, but that's already taken because somebody used it for a Simpsons themed podcast. I wanted that because I liked the idea of the way that information transforms as it travels from word of mouth to word of mouth and all of that stuff, and I thought it was funny. I also thought it was funny because it was related to a teacher strike and like my whole thing with teaching and all of that. But it was already taken, and rather than try to figure that out, I was just like, let me try to think of something else. And so eventually I thought of fanifesting, which is a combination of fan and manifesting, and trying to think about all of the fanish dreams we wish would come true, just so we could see our favorite fandom be extra fanish. And I was listening to a Josh Johnson stand-up bit, and he was talking about how when we have kids, we wish those kids would be into the stuff that we're into, because what could be better than this, loving the stuff we love, than having the people we love most love it too. And I wrote this down, and it's probably going to make it into, I'm thinking I have a whole extra chapter to my dissertation about late night and drag, and I promise you the two are related. That's kind of the whole trademark of my dissertation, is you don't know how they're related until you read the chapter, and then you're like, oh yes, clearly these two things are deeply and intimately connected, and I don't know how I didn't realize that before. Also, they're very much about empathy. How did I not know that they were about empathy before? How did I not know that empathy was so important? How did I not know that empathy was an evolutionary function of our species that is absolutely crucial to our survival? All that. It's all in my dissertation, which that's one of the projects that I want to work on, is getting my dissertation out there to the public somehow. Another project I want to work on is supporting and helping and being part of my friends who are starting a new actual play channel. The third project I want to work on is Fanifesting. It's a podcast where we have guests on and we ask them questions and we get them to geek out about their favorite fandom, and then we we manifest our fanish wishes about that fandom. So the first one that I really want to do, Robin and I became friends because we were both in theater in high school, and Robin used to make mixed CDs for me that were compilations of lots of different songs from various musicals, and it would be called like cool musicals that the only people who don't know are, and I don't remember what the word was, it was something, but I had like 6 or 7 of those CDs, and I had so many of these songs, but they didn't have any labels on them, so I didn't know what the song was from, who sang it, what the context was. I just learned the songs because I popped them in my CD player and listened to them on repeat. So I learned a lot of my favorite musicals and musical songs just from listening to the song over and over and over again and trying to figure out what the context was. So stuff like The Lovely Month of May, what other ones? Definitely a bunch of stuff from Wicked, because we sang Wicked together in high school. That was another big moment for us. There was what else was there? Was a lot of cabaret on that. There was some Les Mis. There was at least 1 or 2 chorus line numbers. Ragtime. I don't think there was any Phantom on there, but I had already known Phantom at that point in my life. There was definitely some Rent. Take Me or Leave Me was definitely on there, because that is one I really still love to sing a lot. 525,600 minutes, that was on there. I started that way too low. What else was on it? La Vie Boheme. I was gonna say Bohemian Rhapsody. No, wrong. La Vie Boheme was on there. Open up a restaurant in Santa Fe. Sunny Santa Fe would be nice. When I eventually did live in New York City, I used to fantasize about people dancing in the subway, singing that song the way that they did in the movie, with the Law and Order guy. But anyways, so Robin and I became friends partly because we were both so into musical theater. And so we want to make our first couple episodes where we interview each other be about musical theater. And one of the things that I am manifesting about musical theater, and this is like a sneak peek of the episode, is a revival. So it's 2025 right now. 3 years, it'll be 2028. That will be 50 years after the film version of The Wiz. I am manifesting a revival of The Wiz with a bunch of, obviously most of that cast is no longer around, so I'm manifesting a revival of The Wiz, produced by World of Wonder, and that's all I'm gonna say for now. The rest of it you can find on the podcast whenever we get around to recording the first couple episodes, and whenever we do that, you can hear about who I cast in every single role, because I thought about a lot of it, a whole dang lot of it. And if it ever actually happened, I would be, my little fangirlish heart would just grow 5 sizes that day. And that's what I think I want manifesting to be about. And I think Robin is down for that also. But if she's got more to say, you know, you'll hear that too. Because I want it to be just as much Robin's podcast as it is mine. And, yeah, so stay tuned for Fanifesting. That's something I really want to get done. What is the name of that channel that my friends just started. My friends, Kat and Jen, and their third friend, who I don't know but who seems cool, are starting an actual play channel. I'm looking it up right now on my iPad because I don't want to get it wrong. Nope. Here we go. Storyweave Productions, a TTRPG actual play channel committed to showcasing diverse and compelling stories with accessibility and high quality production at the forefront. And the people involved are Jen, aka Jen Burb, JIENBIRB, Kat, Lore Mistress, LOREMISTRESS 93, and Ren, like the bird, Mask Ren, MASQUEWREN, and they are on all the socials, particularly Twitch, as Storyweave Productions. And Kat and Jen are awesome. I worked with them at Girls Run Worlds on a production called Odysseys of Theros. I played an Aasimar character named Onyx, who had actually black skin, like not like black like in but like black as in the color black. And she was inspired by the song Battle Ravens that I had heard sung. I'm messing with my hair again. That I had heard sung a lot at the Renaissance Fair that I worked at. And we're at 26:42, so I'm gonna wrap this up soon, I promise. But so definitely check that out. And then the third thing I really want to do, well, third out of 4, I guess, is get my Patreon up and running. And I think I'm gonna just call it Dr. Joan Makes Stuff, and try to develop a source of income for myself that is not dependent on being some limited version of myself that is acceptable for general public consumption. Because as much as I love educating students, there's a lot I have to say about it that I cannot say while I'm still being employed by a public school system. So if you sign up for my Patreon, you know how you really hate the fact that AI are taking everything over. If you do really hate that, I can do some of that stuff that AI does for you, but I'm a human being. See? Ow. It hurts. Squirrel. Red squirrel. Anyway, it's starting to get dark. The squirrels are corpuscular. Check out Storyweave Productions. Check out Fanifesting as soon as it becomes available. If you want to be a guest on Fanifesting, hit me up on Blue Sky or Instagram. Or comment here. Tell me what your fandom is that you want to talk about. And leave your socials. And my kid is really cute. I'm not gonna post that much of him on social media. I posted one picture of him on social media the other day in reply to Johnny Stanton's post about his kid. But I'm not gonna post my kid that much on social media because he deserves to have his own life. Gonna be golden. We're gonna be golden. That's really what's running through my head right now when I'm not actually talking. It's just that song on repeat. Patreon. If you hate AI and you want to see real artists and writers make money instead of AI, subscribe to my Patreon. If you need the kind of stuff that AI can do for you, I could do that stuff for you. If it's writing based, copy editing, that kind of stuff. Even if it's art, I might be able to do it for you. Check out my subscription tiers. I might be able to send you stuff that you might like. I am gonna also try to make some a la carte stuff available. Like, I think I would be really good at helping you get into the college of your dreams, because I have gotten into pretty much all of the colleges that I ever applied to. Most of the ones that I really wanted to get into anyways. I went to Kalamazoo College, I went to SCAD, I went to NYU Tisch, and then I went to USC Annenberg, all of which are somewhat difficult to get into. Anyways, we hit 31 minutes right now, so I'm just going to wrap this up, and I'm going to say look for me on all the socials. I have a lot of stuff I want to try to get going. If I can get my Patreon going, then I can quit my job and do making stuff full-time. And if you really want to stick it to the man and say F you to AI, then pay a real living artist. Ow!